I'm Shane Smith. This is Ryan Duffy. We're here in Athens, Greece, in the middle of a protest. This week, we're going to be looking at the rise of the ultra-right and radical left in Europe.
Just cheat the Lord, cheat the Lord.
And the unexpected result of China's one-child policy.
In China, marriage is not about romantic love. It's about economical relationships.
Do you have a daughter? Do you have a daughter? Like got visible stink lines or something.
The world is changing. Now no one knows where it's going. But we'll be there, uncovering the news, culture, and politics that expose the absurdity of the modern condition.
That little child has a huge gun.
This scene isn't really kosher by American standards.
I was interviewing suicide bombers and they were kids.
This is the world through our eyes.
We win or we die!
This is the world of Vice.
Hi, I'm Shane Smith, and we're here in the Vice offices in Brooklyn, New York. For our first story tonight, we go to China. China famously adopted a one-child policy in the late 1970s. Now, this controversial bit of social engineering has led to a lot of complex ramifications. For example, there are now around 50 million, that's 50 million, more men than there are women, which means a lot of Chinese men are very, very frustrated. So we sent Thomas Morton to China to see just how hard it is to get a girlfriend.
This is Zhongchen Park in the middle of Beijing, and this is where all the parents come to basically barter off their children. The way they do it is they make these little signs for them, their vital stats, their birthday, what year, the zodiac they're born, what jobs they got. All these people are parents trying to marry off their sons and daughters, and I'm trying to hook up with this woman's daughter. Pretty good, right?
啊，文化传媒的，这是真正的是这个钱都真正的就是不会是有假的。
A little manic.
对呀，他也相亲，又怎么这么脏呢
This of any interest? No? Oh, okay. 谢谢。
他相亲。
有。谢谢。A lot of people are kind of running off from me, like I'm, you know, like I got visible stink lines or something. When Mao died, the communist government decided to give capitalism a go. As they bulked up their economy, they also attempted to slim down their runaway population growth by means of the one-child policy, a massive social engineering project that's completely deranged the dating landscape and proven that when you screw with the natural order of things, nature will find a way to screw you right back. Freaked out and honestly bewildered by the parents in the park, I hired a professional matchmaker to help me navigate the maelstrom that is dating in post-one-child China. Her name is Kitty. So Kitty, how long have you been a matchmaker?
Starting when I was 8. I'm the best matchmaker.
In Beijing or all of China?
I think all of the China.
Kitty's first suggestion was to go to a dating event in Xiamen.
So if 100 is a full score, how will you score yourself?
68?
68?
I don't even think I know what the criterion is. I'm flying blind.
Basically, should divide it in 3 parts. One part is how you look like. Seems like you are not like the American cowboy who is attractive. So, second part is about your income. Do you think that you're a wealthy person in China?
Maybe in China.
No.
No.
How is your parents do? What's their job?
Oh, they're my dad's an engineer.
Engineer? Oh, that's a good job. You should
it?
emphasize
Cool.
that.
I'll tell them that.
Yeah. And you are the only son?
Yes.
You add a point, at least 5 points.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Why is that? Why? Why do they?
Because fathers of the girls will think, can my daughter inherit all the wealth from your parents? But you are one son, so you will add a point.
Okay, yeah. I have a sister. Does that matter?
No, sisters
No,
is
girls
nothing.
don't count.
Yeah.
Okay.
In China, girls don't count.
It seems like a lot of this boils down to money.
It's a big thing. Because in China, marriage is not about romantic love. It's about economical relationships. So to emphasize your economical power.
With my point rating and American persona both firmly in place, I can finally hit the event and do some dating.
Who dare say you are not a cowboy, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm a fucking cowboy. What I assumed would be a giant singles mixer, or Chinese speed dating, turned out to be some sort of karaoke dance-off, pitting the town's bachelors in direct competition against each other for the town's available females. On stage.
找到那种心仪的对象是稍微有一点困难，所以说要通过这种节目多参加公共活动嘛，让别人了解我这样子。
台下有觉得这位帅哥不错的姑娘们，请举手。啊？你是我2012年。
两只老虎，两只老虎，跑得快。
Painful though this may have been, I really couldn't have picked a better act to follow.
哎呦，还来了个进口的，哎，快看，来了个进口的，他叫什么名字？
他叫托马斯。
托马斯，那好，来个托马斯全员共。
I am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road. I can hear you through the something.
好了，好嘛。
Thank you，谢谢。
吓得我的气儿上来一半都是。
I have no idea how any of this is supposed to work, or help me get laid.
Okay.
In the end, I was paired up with a short, sort of olive oil looking girl, who I guess likes Glen Campbell.
你晚上让他把他背进去，按中国的方式，给他们抓来了。哎呀，对不起啊，中国的单身小伙子们。
The event organizers then escorted us to the matchmaking office for a supervised pre-date in one of their designated dating rooms. This looks like an interrogation room. What happens in here? Is this normal? Do you do this a lot? Like this seems very odd to me. What do you look for in a guy? Like, are there traits?
能力、责任感。但是我觉得外国人一般都是很高大的那种。
Since my pre-date bombed, I went to meet up with the other competitors and commiserate over some beers. So tell me about what happened today. How did the dating event go?
哎呀，你们两个都不适合，他都觉得不适合的。不是人家看不上我，我的思想就是。
Are you guys nervous about getting older? Like, do you think you've got a good chance now, or do you have less of a chance than when you were younger?
压力非常大。你像我们这样年纪大，你不行的，无形的压力都压过来了。你像结婚以后，你要像我们80后，像中国的80后，要一个人像城市一个人要负责4个老人的嘛，岳母、岳父、自己的父母，还加自己一家人。工作是做那个，他们知道。要养活这么多人，他压力非常大的。
If everybody seems a little hung up on money, it's because they are, and with good cause. Outside of dwindling state support, Chinese kids are traditionally supposed to take care of their parents when they get old. Before the 80s, this burden could be split among 4 or 5 sons. But since one child, that one child is wholly responsible for not only his folks' welfare, but his wife's folks too.
In China, it's more hard to find a girlfriend. But you have enough money. It's okay if you have 15, you can find one girl for the 20. I'm very angry talking about it. Yeah, just.
Schlubs like us have always had a hard time competing against the rich and successful. In most countries, though, this just means you drive a shittier car. Here in the new Chinese economy, it means you're up against guys who can afford to put up billboards advertising their wealth, like this guy did. So this is your place. This is extremely nice.
现在大多数的中国人可能就是对一个婚姻可能会看，比如说经济条件，然后双方的社会地位。我觉得其实我一点都不困难，因为我所从事的职业，包括现在就是收入各个方面，包括性格，可能都是比较讨女孩喜欢的吧。反正周围有很多优秀的女孩。
Can you explain why you put up that billboard? To Did you get a lot of feedback from it? Did you meet anybody?
我大概每天能接到200多个电话和短信。
I imagine there are probably a lot of weirdos.
是有好多怪咖，就是奇奇怪怪的。
Everything we hear about young people in love in China, it always comes back to this supposed gender imbalance here. Do you think that contributes to how hard it is for guys to find girls?
的确是，这是一个就是因为以前有计划生育，所以造成我们每个人在成长的过程中可能会更多的孤单，更多的脆弱。还有，我想生3个4个孩子，可能因为跟我小时候看的一个美剧有关。他们家里边就有3、4个孩子，我觉得特别热闹。
Interesting. Which soap opera was it?
忘了，反正当时中国的直译是《成长的烦恼》。
It's Growing Pains, isn't it? With it's a family with 3 kids in it, the Seaver family.
The Seaver, yeah.
Yeah, okay, it's
Michael,
Growing Pains.
Mike.
Yeah, that's the family you want to have. So while the average kitchen appliance repairman is lucky not to get laughed off stage by his town's leftover women, China's princelings not only get their pick of the litter, they can afford to pay the fines to have the American TV family that's off limits to everyone else. This is the madness that one child has wrought, and it's what happens when you attempt social engineering on a scale this large. The next thing you know, you've got a womanless countryside, desperate parents fighting each other in the park for their kids' dwindling shots at marriage, and the literal welfare of the older generation resting on the shoulders of a bunch of only children. Any interest? Ask me? No?
Hey!
No, not interested? Okay. I understand.
The financial meltdown that hit America in 2008 kicked off a global economic crisis that's had far-reaching aftershocks that are still being felt today. Europe, for example, continues to suffer more than we have here in America, with out-of-control debt and crippling levels of unemployment. This has led to massive unrest, especially amongst young people. Europe's youth have taken to the streets and are demanding increasingly radical changes. So I went to Greece and Spain, 2 of the countries that have been hardest hit, to see just how young people there are dealing with the crisis.
Young people in Spain are furious. Their government's reaction to the global economic crisis has been to enact severe austerity measures that have attacked healthcare, education, pensions, and other social welfare programs, which made people mad enough. But if you add this to the fact that almost 50% of the country's young people are unemployed, then you have a powder keg that is perpetually waiting to blow. Spanish youth are arming themselves, and they're organizing across the country, all with one aim: to destroy the status quo. We met with one of these organizations, called Youth Without Future, just as they were gearing up to cause chaos on a day of general strikes, called to protest these austerity measures. Now, this was just the first taste of what we were in for, seeing college-age kids who should have been planning their night out, instead, calmly planning to destroy a city.
El responsable de cada grupo, mi grupo va a quemar cosas o mi grupo va a hacer pintadas. Siempre respetando estos criterios de que no seamos más de 8, de que seamos pares. ¿Lo veis?
¿Veis un policía? Corred, tirad los palillos, tirad los sprays y corred.
Youth Without Future is actually one of the groups that helped set up the Occupy movement in Spain, which in turn was the inspiration for Occupy Wall Street here in America. And on this night, their mission was to take to the streets and, working in conjunction with other radical youth groups and unions, to shut Spain down.
So you believe that you have to protest and you have to do actions because you're without future?
Yeah, there is more than 50% of unemployment in the youth people. We want to show who is responsible for the situation, you know? It's a new approach, and to organize the 99%, you know,